right, now we're ready for topic number 2. Right, topic number 2.
What would that be?
Today, this topic right here. Thank you, IGN, for your beautiful input on why Resident Evil 5 should be rewritten and not remade. Let's get into it.
Oh yeah. I brought a special guest.
He brought a special guest?
Get it? I brought a special guest.
Oh, it's Resident Evil 5. Look at that. In mint condition.
Remastered.
Oof. The good ones.
No excuse, IGN. No excuse.
Now, yes, Resident Evil 5 by far isn't one of my favorite Resident Evils in the franchise, but I understand the co-op in the game is what makes the game. Because it's not, technically it's not Resident Evil, it's more of an action shooter game, which it does seem to be resonating with a lot of people. Like, oh yeah, it's not even a Resident Evil game, it's just more of a shooter game.
Yeah.
But Resident Evil 5 in general has always been in a backlash story. Obviously, it's because it's based on Africa, a little continent in Africa, and you're stomping out black people and shooting black people. So IGN has a problem with that, right? Now, what is the issue? Okay? Yep. Let's start the violins, because we have Resident Evil 4. Shooting Spanish people. No one said anything about that. We have Resident Evil 6. Chinese people getting shot. Or Asian people getting shot. No one said anything about that. But when it comes to Resident Evil 5, what's the issue?
I'm going to give you a perfect example. And it goes back to Wifey again, Millie Mack. She said it in her video. Mm-hmm. She was like, oh, everything else have to be diverse, but except for being zombies. So the zombies, they have to always be white. And I'm just like, you're right. If there was a zombie apocalypse going on, it's not prejudice like this Keaton Pill sketch would make you believe. It spreads. It's a virus.
I forgot about that.
It doesn't matter. I just thought about it just now. But it doesn't matter what race you are. Yeah. The thing about it is, it's not like Chris is going there just to go, okay, we're gonna shoot some black people today. All right, let's go. Let's do this. No, it's an infection. It's a virus.
Yep.
Same thing happened in Resident Evil 6. They were infected. You saw the infection happen. You know where it happened from. You know who caused it.
Yep.
Well, sorry. No, I'm not getting to Resident Evil 6 hate. I'm gonna leave that alone. That's a different topic. But they were infected. It wasn't like you were shooting random people that was just regular humans. Like, and even if it was that way, unless like you're not just like in the for example, then people should get mad about the 50 Cent game, Blood in the Sand. He was shooting Middle Eastern people up there. Like, people should get mad at other games. There's plenty of other games that do the same shit.
Yeah.
Even if it was a regular shooter, cover shooter. Basically, they were enemies. It's not Chris and them going to attack people just willy nilly. You've never seen Chris do that. That's not the type of character Chris is. And I'm going to explain more. But there's something that the IGN a video did that I don't like. Even in the article, what they did. Huh?
Turn off comments.
No, they turn off comments in the tweet that they did. Mm-hmm. They also turn off comments in the video. No, they didn't turn off comments in the video. They turned off comments in the article.
Yeah.
Because I put a comment on there. I was going to put a comment in the video, but good luck finding it because it didn't get any likes. So good luck finding it.
It didn't get any likes.
Yeah, but. For the most part, like, it's just they talked about the game years ago about my racism, my this, my that. But mind you, we got a remastered. We got 3 copies. This is the 3rd version of this game. Third,
yeah.
We got the original copy. We got Gold Edition and this, and then we're gonna get another one. You think Capcom's not gonna remake that game?
Oh, of course.
They already put the seeds in separate ways, which wasn't a thing in the original game. They put the seeds in it. Well, what's the thing about doing?
Yep.
What the fuck do you mean the story need to be rewritten? Because Chris is shooting infected people when the first person that you showed a mutation of the virus was a white woman.
Legit.
And last time I checked, there wasn't only black people you were shooting at. There were diverse people in it. Even though granted it was mostly dark skinned people, there was some white characters looking in there. There was some Oriental characters in there too.
Yeah.
At some points part of the game. Sorry, I'm going too far. If I talk more about it, I'm going too far ahead. your video because I watched the video.
Yeah.
And I saw people talk about the article and everything like that.
Mhm.
So I have a lot of
Like anger
venom to
built
talk
in.
about this. Yeah, because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this bullshit. But I'm gonna let y'all see the video, and then
Yeah.
I'll say my piece.
Let's watch the video.
I gave it my best dislike, and the only thing about it, since I don't use my old computer, I don't know the dislike and like ratio.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Let me see.
You want me to get the video, or you got it?
Yeah, you can get that one. For some reason, this thing's slowing down my computer.
Okay. Gotcha. I wouldn't be surprised they took the video off because I know they're getting backlash for this shit.
Oh yeah,
But they still got it, and it's not getting as much views as they think it is.
Any views it should get is the critical views.
Yep, it ain't getting the views that it deserves. Oh God, Sonic and Angry Birds. Ugh. Sorry.
Ew.
No, shut up.
Sonic and Angry Birds.
Don't be spoiling my fun. Oh, you get the same comment. Cool, because they're watching it through me. All right.
Get to see your actual comment. So they didn't disable comments for the video itself.
Nope.
Good.
They're stupid. See,
there we go.
Like, so I'm liking that. See, I made a comment. Nothing. So I can actually put say the comment since I hear. I said, please delete the video. This like this video is going to be legendary. IGN is still trying to use all my racism cards for this game. It didn't work then, and it won't work now. It won't.
True.
It won't. So here we go with the bullshit.
With Resident Evil 4's release last year, Capcom's project to remake the glory years of its survival horror series is complete. But as the game's post-credit scene suggests, the remakes aren't over. And so the big question is, where next? The obvious answer is a remake of Resident Evil 5. But on the game's 15th anniversary, it's clear that moving forward chronologically will take Capcom's remakes into the series' weakest era, an era of gameplay and narrative decisions best left in the past. Resident Evil 5 simply can't be remade, at least not to the standards of Capcom's best work. And so the answer is not to remake, but to rewrite.
I'll pause it right there. That whole statement, not to be remade, but to rewrite. Isn't that what the point of remakes are?
Yeah.
They add stuff, they change stuff that didn't work in the first game. Because Resident Evil 4 wasn't a shot-for-shot remake.
Nope. It sure wasn't. It was still a great game.
It added stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. It added stuff.
Same 3 took out a lot of shit.
Game 2.
We're gonna get
you want to talk about rewrite.
Rewrite. You want to rewrite?
You want to rewrite. 2, 3. 3. Oh my God.
Oh God. I mean, we could go back to the drawing boards when it comes to 3. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
rewrite.
Yeah, rewrite my ass.
But here's the thing. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
No, absolutely. Yeah, you're gonna rewrite. It's like it makes no sense to rewrite something at this day and age because we know what you're gonna rewrite it to. Just like a whole bunch of, instead of going to freaking Africa and being like, oh yeah, they're infected, and be like, well, they're immune. And we got to shoot all white people now.
Yeah, exactly. Wesker just absolutely just let loose a bunch of people from his ship, and then he got them, and it's just only them. But then that was even worse because then the African people couldn't do anything, and they ended up getting erased. And I'm just like, shut your ass up, man.
It's like, how are you gonna rewrite a story like that? It just doesn't make sense. Then it wouldn't be a Resident Evil 5 remake at all if you're gonna be rewriting everything. Like the whole premise is based in that continent. So if you take that away and you rewrite everything, it will make it seem like a completely different game.
Cute. Matter of fact, the stupid idiot who. Matter of fact, let me call him the retard that wrote this, and the people that agreed with him. They didn't play Resident Evil 5 because the reason why they were in Africa in the first place, not because of the color of the people's skin, inside racism, not because of people's skin. It was because they found the flowers that caused the whole shit. The flowers that was in the film. Remember when Chris and Trevor went into the little area and they saw the flowers and stuff like that, and they got the documents?
Yeah,
that's where they found them at. They found them in Africa. All the bullshit that's been happening in Resident Evil is because of what they found in Africa.
Yep.
So it's the motherland. It's the way everything starts.
Yeah.
That's what they said about the motherland. So of course it makes sense that they find the flowers that cause regeneration and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't work it out well.
Yeah.
So I mean, even in that sense, like that right there, when I played Resident Evil 5, I didn't think of, oh, this is racist, like shooting black people in the game. I didn't even go, oh, great, I get to shoot black people. I didn't think none of that. I was like, oh shit, they're attacking me. Oh shit, they're attacking me. Let's kill these people and let's get to the point A, point B. Like
Right.
when I played it with my friend, on the Cobb, I didn't think, oh, my racism. I didn't. None of us was offended. We
Mm-hmm.
saw them as enemy AI that was attacking us. We had to put them down.
That's exactly what it seems.
Or we were
That's
going to die.
exactly what it is. Enemy AI.
Like they're not even human. They're not even human. They're not real flesh and blood characters. They're not. They're not real. They're AI. That you press a button, they respawn. You
Mm-hmm.
press a button, they come back to where the original form was at.
Yep.
Like, come on. Like, it's not like I said, it's not like they were deliberately going. Matter of fact, let me shut up. Let's watch the video because when he said rewrite, he sounds stupid.
Yeah.
He sounds
Yeah.
stupid to rewrite.
Yeah. He does
Remake
sound.
is remake. You
Yeah.
add stuff. You put the deleted stuff in it. Most likely, I have a feeling when they do the remake,
Mhm.
what they probably will do is they'll probably incorporate. No, they may incorporate Lost in Nightmares in the story
True.
with Leon and Chris, Leon and Claire. So Leon and Jill. They may put them in there, and then the whole story about Wesker, what happened, why Wesker killed Spencer. If I'm spoiling the game for you guys, I apologize. The game is about 15 years old now,
It
so
is.
15 years
Yeah.
old this year.
Yep. 15
So
year anniversary.
he killed, yeah. So he killed Spencer, and then he assumed to have killed Jill. So his main purpose was to go. He found Wesker. He knows Wesker has, he knows Wesker is around. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't know nothing. He didn't know where Jill was at, but he had a feeling that Jill was alive. But he was going there for the PSAA. It was a whole. You talking about racism. You didn't talk about the whole fact that stop it. I'm back. Let's watch the video. I'm fueled with hatred for this one. I'm fueled because it's like you spit on racism again. This is like that stupid ass video when you talk about the Negro League, the baseball game.
Yeah, that's true.
Like blatant, like get out of here! I can't wait to see the review for American Society of Magical Negroes. I can't wait to see who the reviewer for that game. I mean, that movie's going to be.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Me too.
sorry. I'm watching that. But I'm watching that later. The video that.
Resident Evil is a survival horror series. Not that you'd know that playing Resident Evil 5. Sure, it features a constant flow of horrific imagery, but Resident Evil 5 is an action game through and through. That's evident in its cover shooter mechanics, vehicle chases with on-rails turret sequences, and the constant rattle of assault rifles. Even its visual design evokes the sandy shades of modern military games that experienced mass popularity in the late 2000s. It all speaks to a series that had lost its way. Rather than reflect on the tenets that were the foundation of its experience, Resident Evil 5 looked to the contemporary gaming zeitgeist in an attempt to find a new lease of life. The result is an unholy hybrid of Resident Evil, Gears of War, and Call of Duty. It's as ugly and unwieldy as it sounds. This design appears to not
We
just
gave the
be a
game a 9 out of
misguided
10
attempt
though.
to follow Western successes, but also a misreading of its predecessor. With Resident Evil 4, director Shinji Mikami deftly reinvented the series through the use of a new over-the-shoulder camera angle. The perspective allowed for a more
Shooting
kinetic,
Spaniards in Europe.
game. Despite this, Mikami never lost sight of
In
the
a
terror
medieval
of
setting.
Resident Evil. Through the use of enemies that were strategically placed to provide undulating waves of tension and fear, and the inclusion of Ashley as your vulnerable charge, combat encounters were focused on surviving overwhelming horrors rather than dominating foes. Resident Evil 5, meanwhile, presents its enemies as waves to be gunned down with increasingly powerful weaponry. Their purpose is cannon fodder, a wall of meat to slow your progress through levels. And those levels are not locations to be explored. Instead, they are largely funnels that push you from entrance to exit. Resident Evil 4 may have replaced the series' traditional continuous structure with discrete levels in an attempt to move away from the backtracking-heavy design of previous games, but it preserved the spirit of locations like the Raccoon City police station. The village, Salazar's castle, and the island feature interlocking, explorable pathways that solidify these locations as authentic spaces rather than obstacle courses. Resident Evil 5 has no interest in this, with the majority of its stages being little more than corridors peppered with dead ends to hide treasures in. Their lack of authenticity means no one will ever mention the Kijuju.
Sorry, I have to pause this because he's full of shit. He's full of shit. Come on. Like you making all this bullshit right here, right?
Mhm.
All this bullshit about all corridors, endless corridors, blah. Mind you, the only area you mostly showed so far was the ship. The
Yeah.
ship part, everybody and their mother can agree was the slow part of the whole game.
Yeah, that's true.
When you went through the first part of the game and you were running through the village when people were chasing after you and stuff like that, that shit was terrifying. That shit was, and then like the something you were in the cave with the light, and one person had to hold the light, while the other person's the gunner. That was cool. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, Resident Evil 5 is a bad. It's a good co-op game.
Yeah,
like I agree with you that it's not the strongest in the franchise,
mm-hmm.
but you're talking about the dark days. People played Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 5 sold well. Resident Evil 5 sold well that the fact they made sorry. They made Resident Evil 6. Oof. So what are you talking about? It was okay. I get. I honestly no, because it was they tried to copy. They didn't try to copy Resident Evil. I mean, on Call of Duty with this one. For more specifically, they tried to make 6 play like Call of Duty.
Yeah,
it has survival horror elements in it, but it wasn't as strong because once again, co-op horror games, unless you're underpowered or it's a games like I know Lethal Company's not really hard of a horror game, but like Phantophobia, or what's the other game? Whatever game that you're looking around in a haunted mansion and you don't have a weapon, that makes horror games scary. But when you have weapons that you can defend yourself and shoot, it takes the horror out the game. You're gonna be scared. Like Dead Space 3, it was anytime we were scared in that game.
Just jump scares.
But like, were we really scared? Like, I think if we did that, like we did it to one another.
Yeah, we did.
But like,
it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't. The base of it.
Yeah, because by then we were I know, but especially you were so desensitized because the fact that you played 1 and 2 already, so you already know the vents. If you see a vent in your gun, if you see anything with a hole in it,
you gotta prepare. Yeah,
I'm ready. Yeah. Now there was 1 or 2 times where like I said, jump scares. Like when I opened the door and they were like 2 big ass necromorphs. I'm like, oh shit! Like yeah, but I wasn't scared. Resident Evil 5 is the same way. The only part that scares me, and I guess my fear of alligators, was the part where you have to run through the water and get the thing. Yeah, I hated that part. But he's with the corridors. Do you remember? This is the PS3, all right? This is the PS3. It wasn't PS4. It wasn't PS5.
Yep.
You're talking about like all the corridors and everything like that. You know they're gonna fix it up.
Oh yeah.
Because if you want to be blunt, the designs in Resident Evil 4 looked at grainy and ugly in terms of design because they had like a eerie dark feeling. You see Resident Evil 4, it still had the same creepy horror feel, but it looks way better.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
man, I'm gonna have to do a separate video on my own for this one because I can rant for an hour about this shit. I'm going back.
Sown in the same breath as the Spencer Mansion. All this is to say that a faithful remake of Resident Evil 5 would break Capcom's 7-year streak of brilliant survival horror games. It's telling that the series' reset point, Resident Evil 7, was a reinvention of the very first game, a haunted house that grew ever larger as you unlocked new rooms by solving its puzzles. Clever reinventions of this base conceit is the key to Resident Evil's success, be that dropping an unstoppable force into the house's corridors, such as Resident Evil 2's Mr. X, or expanding the scope of the house. Resident Evil Village's titular location is effectively a giant manor. Its corridors are streets, and its rooms are houses. Resident Evil 5's stage-driven structure is simply inferior to this design. A modern recreation of it would only further highlight its flaws, especially coming in such close proximity to masterclasses like the remake of Resident Evil 2.
How do you even compare?
Remakes can, of course, completely redefine the structure of their source material. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, for example, is recognizably an updated version of the classic RPG, but its world design and gameplay mechanics are a world apart from the 1997 original. And
so you destroy your fucking argument right there.
Yep. Destroyed your whole entire argument. Right. You're comparing. Comparison is amazing. Great job, buddy.
No, what you gonna say?
No, yeah, the comparison is stupid. It makes no sense to me. You're comparing when it comes to Final Fantasy 7 to the remake. Look at the era that it came out in. Look at the genre that it is. Completely different universes from anything Resident Evil related. Nothing you say about whatever you're going to say about Final Fantasy comparing it to Resident Evil 5 is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. There's no comparison. You're comparing other games of Resident Evil series to Resident Evil 5. Another one that has nothing to justify it.
Mind you, he's comparing it to future installments. He's comparing it to 7. He's comparing it to 8. He's comparing it to remake 2, not 3,
Nope.
and 4. And then you had the nerve to talk about Final Fantasy, how it changed everything. So what do you think the remake's going to be? You think the remake's going to be just a 1-for-1 shot? They're going to add stuff. They're going to probably put different weapons in it, because not all the weapons that was in Resident Evil 4 was in Resident Evil 5 remake. I don't think.
Yeah, and
no weapons in there, because I think the laser gun is not there.
It's irrelevant to me because it's like when you're comparing the story, like he's talking about rewriting stuff. When you're talking about rewriting stuff, like Final Fantasy VII is still a solid story from its predecessor, which was in 1997. And
yes,
what they're trying to do is not rewrite the story, but retell it in a different way with keeping the same premise. What you're suggesting is we eliminate the black people completely from Resident Evil 5 and do what with them? Just have a solid umbrella corporation in Africa that's predominantly white or mixed race behind everything? Is that how you want to rewrite the story?
Yeah, you wasn't so offended with the TV show when it was set in Africa in the beginning, when there was the whole thing, because you had diverse characters, but it was in Africa. So you colonize Africa and have mostly diverse people in there, but that's fine. That's fine. You know, when they take over, they have a little, Umbrella took over and they dominated a certain area in Africa instead of, sharing the land with people. But that's fine. But this is a problem. This isn't Resident Evil 5 is a problem. Where, like I said, I can see Chris is just, you start the game and you just got a machine gun and you're like, da, 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 da. Oh, I see people. Chris is not racist. Chris has never been racist.
Hell no, he
had no problem working with Sheva.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's another thing too.
Sheva and the yeah.
Sheva's in the game. She's black.
Yeah. Also, her team was mostly black.
Yep.
And the leader of the team, he was a cool dude. He survived. He went through the game. His team, not so much, but him and Sheva, they had a brother and sister relationship. Mm-hmm. They didn't just treat them like, they were a strong team. They went in there and beat that ass like they had to.
Yep.
Like, come on now. And you talking about, this game will probably ruin the 7-year thing that they had. Go fuck yourself. Because not every Resident Evil game that they made within the 7 years was good. Now, if you want to piss me off, really, don't sit there and ignore reverses. Don't sit there and ignore resistance. Mm-hmm. And for damn sure, don't think about the fact that Part 3 is the black sheep. Operation Raccoon City is before.
Oh yeah, I know.
And Operation Raccoon City and Umbrella Corps is before. Oof. Don't sit there and act like reverses and in resistance alone. Like Resident Evil 3, you can get a pass because it was actually fun. It was fun, but it's short.
Yeah.
But resistance and reverses was dog shit.
I completely agree.
Don't sit there and act like those two games. Matter of fact, reverses had to take an entire year before it started working.
Oh yeah.
You had to wait an entire year. It supposed came out since time it was Part 3. I'm sorry, Part 3, and then it's 8. When 8 came out. Mm-hmm. It didn't work. You had to wait an entire year, and then the only way you can play it is if you had bought 8. And even now, if you look up Resident Evil, like Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 7, you won't find reverses anywhere around that. Or resistance or anything like that. Resistance. You won't. They sell it as its own game.
Yep.
So go fuck yourself with that 7-year thing. So they're not perfect. But don't sit here and compare me and say apples and oranges. Compare apples and oranges. No, it doesn't work that way. Final Fantasy VII is a different game. And even in the same argument, Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth is a totally different game than the original 7. Because I can go into spoilers for Remake. Because Remake, it didn't end that way as the way it ends in Remake. Like the original game doesn't end the same way as the Remake. I didn't spend 30 hours in Midgard. I was maybe 7 hours in the game before you out in the open.
Yep.
And then you did a whole lot more shit, and they added more characters and more everything, new battle system, everything.
Yep.
So why would it be so hard for them to remake the game and bring a new battle system? And Resident Evil 4, Leon in the original Resident Evil 4, Leon didn't have a knife to parry attacks.
Nope.
That was new, and it refreshed the game because a lot of times when you got caught that bullshit ass chainsaw guy, you can get out of it with the knife.
Yep, that's true.
Or a lot of times you get grabbed by one of the main bosses, you got out of it.
Yep.
Cut the shit. And I know they're about to get to the other part because it's such a they talk about the design and they want to cut. I like how they did this video, but I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna continue going. I'm gonna shut up.
So you could argue that Resident Evil 5 is actually the Resident Evil most in need of a remake. A whole new environmental structure and scenario design that reins in the action and dials up the horror would bring it in line with Capcom's other remakes. But all of this doesn't account for Resident Evil 5's most notorious problem.
What?
Racism.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Set in a fictional West African country, Resident Evil 5's primary antagonists are black people. Yes, it's technically the Ouroboros virus that protagonist Chris Redfield is fighting, but the parasite's host is depicted as a nation of mobs and primitives who are violent even before their infection. Intentionally or not, Resident Evil 5 positions Africa.
When did we see they were being violent and everything before they got infected? When did we see this in the game?
Exactly.
When Chris got there, they were already infected.
Yep. They were all infected.
That's the reason why Chris was in the first place.
Yep. That's the whole purpose of him going there. They didn't just magically were like, oh yeah, Chris is here, let's get infected. No, they were infected way before that. That's the fucking purpose of BSAA going over there.
Yes. What are you talking about? This article is so fucking stupid and brain dead. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
they were violent here. No, you're letting inner racism come out.
He didn't play the game, bro. He didn't play the game.
No, fuck no. He played the game.
As the Dark Continent, an uncivilized world harboring a diseased population that needs gunning down via Western intervention in the name of global security.
Where was this at? Because there were different branches of BSAA.
Yeah, there were.
So yeah, your argument fucking makes no sense. Where they were infected. In fact, right there, the guy's laying on the guy with the red shirt. That's not a dark skinned guy.
Nope.
He looks more Oriental than he does dark skin. There were white characters and there were zombies in there. They were infected. Everybody who attacked them was infected. They didn't get like I said, they didn't start the game. It was an action adventure game, and then later on, oh my god, my infection happened. Anytime, I'm sorry I said it. Anytime you see any character in Resident Evil, they either on vacation or something like that, it's always when the start of something happened. Mm-hmm. They never just was like, okay, we're gonna stop bad guys. Every time they got involved with anything, it had to do with an infection. Or if they tried to I don't think you ever shot an actual human. Because even if it was a human villain, they always mutated into a monster. Or they got murdered by the boss.
Yeah, or everyone that Claire, Jill, Leon, fucking Chris ever shot someone, they were already infected. There's like from white, black, Asian, Spanish, they were all infected. Resident Evil is universal. You can't just be like, oh, they're only shooting black people. No, it's fucking universal, bro. Since the beginning of time. Resident Evil, Raccoon City is so diverse. There's blacks, Asians, every fucking body in the damn city. Why would you say, oh yeah, they're only shooting black people? This is racist. Like, no, no. They shoot everyone.
No. This game, like I said, like I brought up earlier, it came out 3 times. 2 times on the PS3, 1 time on the PS4. Not a single person mentioned anything. Not somebody complained about this. And when did this come out? This came out 2016 when everything started. Damn. Nobody. They try to mention the racism story that they did here. They try to mention that with the whole thing.
It was IGN.
You're still full of shit.
IGN did say that the first time it came out. They were like, the blatant racism and stuff like that. But nobody gave a fuck because everybody was like, the fucking game is cool. Like, I don't see racism when I play the game.
No. And the primary protagonist is white.
Yeah.
They try to say the primary protagonist is black people. No, the primary protagonist was white. It was Wesker. Most of the main villains were white. Wesker.
What's that chick's name? Isabella, yeah. I forgot her name.
Yeah, Isabella. The freaking creepy doing the shit that turned to the giant shock monster. Mm-hmm. Like, most of them are white. Chill. Caucasian. Like you acting like people can't be like get the yo that part right there. I had to stop. I stopped the video and walked away because I'm like, are you serious right now? So you letting your outer racism come out, saying that they were violent and like stricken three property. I mean company. I mean country. Like what? When was
Wow.
this ever said? When was this ever said? Everything started happening wrong. Don't get it wrong. Africa has been caught with the plague and everything like that. That has happened. I'm not gonna sit
Hmm.
there and ignore that. I mean, not say that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But you sitting there like acting like oh yeah, this is just bad. It's like it already violent. It was always violent. No, it was not.
You're putting those words in that game's mouth because
Yes.
none of that fucking happened. Like literally,
No.
even when they grabbed the white girl in the beginning, they were already infected. They were trying to infect her with the fucking virus.
Yes.
So
Yes.
your arguments are completely shit. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like that scene itself, it may seem like, oh yeah, they're not infected. They're just they're just grabbing the poor white girl and just grabbing her in there. Like, no, they're infected. They're trying to infect her too. And that's the whole point of that scene. But for you to be like, oh, predominantly you're shooting black people? No. Come on.
No. The first person you see that's fully infected with the virus that you know how you shoot the heads of the villain, the enemies and the parasite comes out. She's the first enemy that does that. A
She
white woman.
is. Yep.
First person that does it. Oh my racism. I don't know why people are fascinated with color.
I know.
It's so like, and then think about it. You do that, you show how racist you really are by trying to be a white knight. But thing, people in Africa, like it's not like let me say, it's not like you race swapped a historian figure from white to black and put the show on Netflix to the point where the whole nation got pissed off and now suing them.
Exactly.
Thank you, Jada Pinkett Smith. Fucking idiot.
Very fucking idiot.
Yeah, so it's not like that. I didn't see that. I didn't see Africa get an uproar and try to sue Capcom about this.
And that's the thing. Capcom Japan did this, and their intentions were never racism. Their intentions were not about racism. Their intentions were to just get a story out. The virus is based in Africa. Let's get Chris and a black team member named Sheva over there. Let's go. Let's do it.
She wasn't originally a playable character.
Yeah, she wasn't. Because I remember seeing the original concept, and the original concept was just Chris by himself. But they turned the game into a co-op game, which is, to me, it turned out pretty, good.
It's hit and miss. Yeah, you could have did better. But because I think at one point Sheva works with you. Mm-hmm. They can still fix that and put it back. But I bet you if you do that, they're gonna call more racism on that. Oh, Sheva was a predominant character in the co-op, but now that she's in the background, that's a problem too.
Shit, it's a lose situation here.
Make it make sense because you can still do the concept of the fact that she gets captured. You can make it because originally she gets captured and tortured by I think I'm saying her name wrong. I know it's not Isabel. I think it's Acelia. I think it's her name. Whatever her name is, she gets captured by her, and Chris has to go save her. You can still do that concept and have you work with Jill after she gets finished getting brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Sheva's not paying attention. She gets captured. You have to play with Jill in reminiscence of and then you can do the reminiscence of like Lost in Nightmares. I'm just giving an idea, but I do have another side video to tell you about this thing about something came up in my head. But this is more video you can watch on your own. It's hilarious. But yeah, it's like you gotta be fucking stupid. And then this video is it's so fucking stupid because the fact that you spent over 4 minutes and 30 seconds talking about priming up the environment and all this other bullshit. Well, mind you, once again, 3 games came out of this. 3 versions of the game came out. You want to talk about the environment, talk about how everything looked, and everything like that. It wasn't a problem before when you gave it a 9 out of 10.
Hello.
I don't care what reviewer did it. The fact that IGN as a company gave the game a 9 out of 10. Fuck that.
I am also upset. Well, I've been upset with IGN for the longest. And the fact that they even let this article and this video come out at the same time it shows where IGN's mindset is as well. Because it's like you're putting this out knowing you're going to get full on blackballed about this. And then you're just like, it's our thoughts. That's what you believe in. You can't just be like, okay, that's our opinion. But that's not the opinions of us as gamers, us as a consumer. That's not our opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. Granted.
Yeah.
IGN and a company in itself has made a fuck ton of bad decisions in the past years. And this is one of them. Literally. This is just one out of freaking thousands of bad mistakes that they've done.
Thousands? Hundreds of thousands.
It's bad.
No, you said it. You said it right. You said fuck. You go fuck ton. Fuck ton of mistakes that they did. This is a bad take. This is always going to be a bad take. They're going to end up deleting this one, and they're going to end up like saying that, oh, we were sorry, because it leads. Shut up. It's the fact that it's you try to mask this with design when no one complained about it.
Yeah, nobody.
Hello? No one complained about it. I can't see you. Like, I got the train on. No one complained about it. No one bitched about it. No one who had a right frame of mind bitched about it. They knew what they would go. It was an enemy that they had to get through to get to the end. That's it.
Yep.
So I guess the roaches in the game was black too. The Reapers. I guess the dinosaur that they turned into. Freaking, well, they were black because they came from infected. But
guess the liquors are black too.
The liquors. Like what? You gotta be kidding me.
Are there dogs African American? We don't know. Because everything I guess
the bulky black guy that swings at you in a game, I guess he wasn't affected. He just was looking for a fight.
Yeah, I guess he was just like, they want to be like, the continent, they came in all aggressive. What?
Yeah. Like they were already violent before the virus came in. Okay, I'm gonna play the video.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. That's a racist statement on itself.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because they're saying the quiet parts out loud. Yeah, and that's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna shut up because we do have one more video to watch.
Oh yeah.
And this one is crazy.
This insensitive treatment of people of colour was hotly debated even as early as Resident Evil 5's debut trailer, with writers such as Ngai Kroll and Stephen Totillo pointing out the game's uncomfortable post-colonial imagery. The arguments and think pieces continued well into the game's release window, with IGN's own former editor-in-chief Hillary Goldstein having also wrestled with the subject. But that was 2009, a time when race was apparently a debate rather than a reality. In the 2010s,
wish we had that many enemies in the game.
Black Lives Matter world, there is only one acceptable response to a white man shooting waves of Africans for an entire video game. No.
What's that?
Just no.
There is one thing I do. I have a job to do, and I'm gonna see it through.
Remakes may be able to redefine their source material, but there's only so many changes you can make until it's not a remake at all, but an entirely new game. And if you take Africa out of Resident Evil 5, is it Resident Evil 5 anymore? Even with a vastly improved, more sensitive take on the continent, perhaps one with a black protagonist and a more empathetic look at the outbreak.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Like, what?
He had to go there.
Go fuck yourself. We already have a black protagonist. He's right there. You in there. She's with you in the beginning of the game. He's your partner. Chris didn't have any problem with her. He didn't go, oh, you? Who are you? Are you capable of doing this? No, he said, okay, you're my partner. Just be careful, okay? Let's do this. Let's be safe. I can handle myself. Okay, no problem.
Chris
he never questioned her.
He fucking cared for her, bro.
I mean, at one point I didn't though, but you know, like when anyway, that's not the point. But people didn't like her because of her AI. But the same, if you switched up and we played with Sheva, and you had Chris was the same as just as dumb as Sheva was. The AI was just bad in the original version.
Yeah, it's not a character problem. It's an AI problem. And
then also, he said the quiet part out loud. If you hear him, say the quiet part out loud. So it's not okay if a white protagonist shoots white people, but it's okay if a person of the same color does it.
So it's okay for black on black crime. That's what you're telling me. It's okay for white on white crime.
Shut up.
It's okay for fucking Spanish on Spanish. Jesus Christ.
But like I said, and then your argument, you know what? The two games destroy your argument. You mentioned one, and I mentioned one. Well, you mentioned both.
Mhm.
Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 6. That destroys your argument
Yeah. Yeah.
because it is a white protagonist going. The cast is mostly white,
Yep.
going into China,
Mhm.
going, okay, let's do this. Mind you,
Okay.
Chris was so gun ho on getting Ava. No, what's the name? No, Claire.
Yeah.
Carla. Sorry, Carla. She was so gun ho getting her,
Mhm.
a Asian woman who was a clone of Ada.
Yeah.
Leon and her name and Helena. They went there because Helena saw Simmons framed her for getting the president killed.
Yeah.
So they had to go clear her to go find Simmons and for their name. Fucking Sherry and Weska's seed went there to like basically they were trying to investigate under for Simmons
Yeah.
and ended up like getting betrayed and kind of find out they were really there to be test subjects. But I've never seen anything that say, okay, we're gonna go in there and shoot Chinese people. We're gonna go and do this. We're gonna go and do that. They're already infected. Most of the people are already infected. The zombies were already infected. You start off the game shooting people in America. You got a whole college that get infected, and they had to nuke the fucking town.
Exactly.
Why do I remember so much about Resident Evil 6? Fuck that game. Anyway, but Resident Evil 5, the town still stayed. You went there, you went through the game, and you're sitting there talking about bad environments. The freaking temple was such a clusterfuck of traps. It was such a good thing. Okay, you can still investigate. It was a co-op shooter. When do you have time to sit there and investigate and look for items when you have a co-op partner? And then mind you, it wasn't couch co-op. I think it was couch co-op. Sorry, it's couch co-op and online.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna have an online partner, somebody who you don't know. If you play it online with a rando, gonna sit there and wait for you, especially if they've beaten the game already. They're gonna be blasting through trying to get the game in a record time.
Yep. That's true. And that,
So you don't have
that happened a lot of times.
yeah. So you had collectibles. But you're not gonna sit there and like, okay, all right. And then it's not like, okay, you play with a co-op partner, it's two Caucasian partners. Sheva was not around.
Yep.
You had Sheva, who was a predominant character who a lot of people did like.
Mhm.
Like besides the AI, Sheva's not a bad character. And it's a damn shame she hasn't been back. Like in any kind of Revelations type view. Like I would love to see her like Revelations 2.
True.
Or like Revelations, I think 2, because it took place after 5. Like 2, they did another one, part 3, or do a spin-off game where and she's involved with Billy Coon. But
yeah, Billy never came back.
Billy never came back. Helena, none of those characters. Helena, who else? Carlos only came back because of the remake. But besides that, Carlos was never thought of or mentioned again.
Yeah, but originally, didn't Carlos die in the original one? Or no?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
No, I mean, remember Resident Evil, the old ones, you did have the option of like people didn't if you didn't make something in time, people died. Because remember, Rachel, if you go by the way you play the game, Barry could have been dead.
Yeah.
Chris could have been dead.
Rachel could have been dead. Yep. Part 1 has so many endings, so many outcomes that could have happened.
And the thing about it, this whole game is made based off a movie.
Yeah, by George A. Romero.
No, actually, no. The first game was in the whole Resident Evil is originally based off a remake of an NES game called Home Sweet Home.
Home Sweet Home.
It was about a camera crew who went into a mansion and they went through the thing and they like finding like undead stuff, like supernatural stuff, and then in the game, depending on your actions, depending if you died in the game, your character was dead. So they did doing a remake of that one, but they kept making the game and it started branching off to its own thing. So Devil May Cry, fucking Haunted Ground. What's the other game that was made from Resident Evil? Some other games made from Resident Evil was remade from a remade game.
Clock Tower.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of games were remade from a remade game. So yeah, they've rewritten stuff. But this whole argument that he's saying is so like you gotta stop it because it's so stupid. So stupid.
Yeah, because he's talking about rewriting a story that's already engraved in a series. Like if you rewrite part 5, there's no way in hell it's going to be called a remake.
But even his argument, it's not Resident Evil 5 if you remake it with a new character. And it makes no sense if you put in a brand new protagonist in a remade game. It ignores. It's like you have to think about the lore. Even though even though I kind of like remakes are getting annoying now
Mhm.
because of the fact that they add stuff in and I'm like, cool, but it kind of changed the story from the original game.
Mhm.
But it's like, all right, I can accept it because Resident Evil 4 was good.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had a few changes, but you stick to the main story.
Mhm.
Separate Ways is fucking night and day compared to the original.
Yeah.
Separate Ways was just like, what the fuck? All right, cool. Wesker was too much in that game. He's like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Aren't you probably doing your mission? How the fuck you get here? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm on a ship outside.
He wasn't even supposed to
Okay.
be there in the first place.
No, he was around, but he was in a room. That's the only time you seen Wesker. He was in a room. He was never on the field.
Nope, never.
And they added him in remake. And he was a good addition because it makes sense. You know, by the time like when you meet Wesker, he has the powers. He has all the powers that he has normally in the game. He can run real fast. He can jump, whatever. He can move. He has the strength and everything like that. He has the abilities. So I'm like, okay, you can accept that. Like he can run real fast. So he ran to her and then helped her out and then ran back to the ship. But then I mean, by then you could have just helped her in a little bit with the assist. She's gonna do all that.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's like you even see in the game that they're going to Africa. Capcom's going to make 5. In a perfect world, we would have got Code Veronica, but they said that they're only going to base on the game off the mainline series. As much as we love Code Veronica, as much as we talk, it's a great game and everything like that. Code Veronica is a side game.
Yeah,
it's not a mainline game.
Nope,
it was originally supposed to be Resident Evil 3.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the 4 on the side of it. As long if it doesn't have a number on it, it's not a mainline story game.
It's not a mainline story, no. And then you want to sit there and talk about how Resident Evil 5 is not as scary, it's more action based. Resident Evil 4 follows suit.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 has horror elements, but Resident Evil 4 is not scary. And mind you, I played that in VR.
Yeah. Resident Evil 4 is not scary at all.
It's not scary at all. Remake 4 had horror elements. Remake 4, if you first play it, and you get into the area with the dark room, and you're like, oh, shit. Like, when you gotta fight the Wolverine dude, it's scarier than the original.
Yeah.
Because you're in a dark room and you don't know where to go, but then you're like, oh, shit, okay. All right. But when you fight in the Regenerator, it's a little more terrifying.
Yeah.
What? Get out. Okay. All right. I'm gonna press play. I give it less than 30 seconds. It's gonna piss me off again. Okay.
Break, the experience would simply be too divorced from the original to hold the name Resident Evil 5. So where does Capcom go now? Personally, I'd look backwards. Code Veronica is an ideal candidate, as is the original Resident Evil. But if the only way is chronologically forward, then a total rewrite of what comes next is the logical path. Because what followed Resident Evil 4 was not one terrible game, but 2. Resident Evil 6 doubled.
You gave the game a 9 out of 10. Okay. You gave the game a 9 out of 10. You gave Resident Evil 6 a 7. I believe. Let me check. I said 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see what they gave Resident Evil 6. Let me see what they gave Resident Evil 6.
A 7.9 out of 10.
Thank you.
7.
Your phone's faster than mine.
Yeah. They gave Resident Evil 6 a 7.9 out of 10. If you guys see that, 7.9 out of 10.
Mind you, this game almost killed the franchise.
Whew.
Yeah, 7.9 almost killed the franchise. If it wasn't for Revelations and the movies and other stuff and other things of the franchise, this almost stopped them from making the game. You know, you know how long it took them to make a Resident Evil game, a mainline Resident Evil game? This came out in 2012.
Yep.
No, this came out. No. Yeah, this came out in 2012. Also, I think 2012, 2013. This came out.
Yeah, 2012.
It took them almost
October 2.
Yeah, it took them almost 7 years. I think Resident Evil 7 came out 2018. No, sorry, like 6 years. It took almost 5-6 years to come out with a new Resident Evil game, mainline Resident Evil game, which they pretty much kind of like took the idea. As much as they say, no, we didn't get the idea from PT. You took the idea from PT and went with it.
That's true.
But come on, the Dark Sheep, fuck out of here.
Down. No, tripled down on the action-packed, set-piece heavy shooter design, to the extent that much of it could be
That you
mistaken
gave
for
a 7.9.
Call of Duty spin-off. Its restrictive level design practically puts you in a chokehold, forcing you to endure a barrage of bombastic moments
It's a
that have
co-op
no
game.
interest in evoking any sense of fear. Resident Evil 6 is a survival horror, only in that it's a horrible game that you have to survive playing.
You gave it a 7.8 out
It
of
doesn't have
10.
to be like that. Capcom now has the opportunity to ignore the past and completely reinvent this chunk of the timeline. In Resident Evil 4 Remake's post-credit scene, evil mastermind Albert Wesker details his plans for world domination to Ada Wong. Reflected in his glasses is an image of Excella Gione and the Stairway of the Sun, two significant plot elements from Resident Evil 5, which indicates Capcom's intentions. But there's more to consider. This scene is largely a replication of the sequence from Assignment Ada, a non-canon chapter from the original Resident Evil 4. Its shift from unofficial to canon points to a willingness to change. Furthermore, the end of this scene is completely rewritten. When learning of Wesker's plans, rather than dutifully deliver the stolen Las Plagas sample to him, Ada betrays her shadowy boss and forces her helicopter.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit. And I'll tell you why you're full of shit. What the fuck was Ada there in the first place in Assignment in Separate Ways? She wasn't there to save Leon.
Nope.
She didn't know Leon was there.
Yep, that's true.
Get fucked.
She did not know Leon was there at all.
No.
All right. 9.3. You gave this game a 9.3.
Wait, come on. Anytime you see Ada in any capacity, he's always there for what? No, what she's there for. Anytime you see Ada in Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4, she's only in the even games. Resident Evil 6, she's always there for what? She's never there for the kindness of her heart.
It's for her own gain.
It's her own game, or she's working with somebody to get an item. Even in the fucking movie, the second movie, she was only there to get the virus for Simmons.
She's the Catwoman of the series.
Yes. So what the fuck you talking about? The Assignment Ada thing? No, they made it canon in separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
Assignment Ada, which is a mini story that gave a little detail, but in you don't talk about Separate Ways at all. The original Separate Ways. So I know you didn't play the game.
Yep.
Because Ada always have a change. She does a thing, and she always have a change of heart after she sees what the villain does. It's already in canon that she betrays Wesker and runs away, but Wesker managed to get his hands on it.
Yeah,
and he wanted to murder her, but she managed to avoid him. And she managed to avoid him. Come the fuck on. Because the thing about it, her purpose was to go into Umbrella and 2 was to get the virus and get out. To even have a fake relationship with somebody, just to get into Umbrella. Know your shit.
Yep.
Know your lore.
It's in the
lore.
The lore. It's literally in the games. If you play it and read through the damn chapters and the little booklets and the little notes that they have, it tells you everything.
Yes.
It even tells you why Resident Evil 5, why you see the guys in the TP, in the tribal.
Yeah.
It even tells you why they became that. It wasn't because, oh my God, this is racist. No, it's because it was an infection, and then people were like, playing around with the costumes that they had around that neighborhood or that village.
Yeah.
And it was
infected with the water.
It was inside the diary of why they got infected.
Yeah. I don't know if it was in the water. I know Resident Evil 2, they made it known. They made it known that it was in the drinking water. That's when people started getting infected.
Yeah.
So it could be the same way with here. But yeah, you said it wasn't rap. They got infected. They got infected somehow. It wasn't like, it just happened to be, we just Pharaoh. We actually turned to this. We turned to monsters. No. Please stop. Wait. Okay. I think that was like 10 seconds before I had to pause it again.
True.
We're almost done.
To turn around. In this moment, the future of Resident Evil becomes unclear. Capcom has given itself the freedom to do whatever it wants.
No.
I just hope it's not a remake of Resident Evil 5. For more on how Capcom is altering the series, check.
Go fuck yourself. Fuck this video.
That's how you know you're full of shit.
Go fuck. See, perfect example right here. Resident Evil 4 Spaniards enemies, IGN thumbs up. Resident Evil 5 African enemies, thumbs down. Don't make remake. Resident Evil 5 says a white man living in UK. You weren't crying like this when a bunch of Spaniards were getting shot in Resident Evil 4 remake. So Spanish people living like the Middle Ages was okay in Resident Evil 4, but doing a similar depiction
Mm-hmm.
of Africa is not.
Yep. There we go. It's crazy
Okay.
because we were just talking about that.
Boom, boom, right there. Garbage taken 2009, garbage taken 2024.
That's facts.
So okay, yeah, it's in Africa. My take on it: he's stupid, and you want to white knight for people that did not need a white knight.
True.
Even when that article came out, people called bullshit on that. Now, the only disgrace that I seen in that Resident Evil 5 thing when that trailer was the fact that it's not as many enemies
In real game.
in the game as it was in the trailer.
Yeah.
Because I would have loved that. I hope the remake does that. Because I think Devil May Cry did something like that, where the remake, the remaster on the PS5,
Yeah.
gave you a shit ton more enemies.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. All
So-
right. But yeah, that's what I would love because the preview of the game, they made it seem like, oh damn, fucking Chris is gonna be battling against a lot of zombies, you know, at one time.
And it's not like when they did the video, it's not like you see them Chris is just attacking people on random. He was getting attacked.
Yeah.
He was getting grabbed up. He was getting things thrown at him. He was running for his life.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like, if anything, it doesn't look good for the racism card because it look like they chasing after him. They try to come after him.
Yeah.
He's defending himself.
Yeah.
So come on.
Yes.
And then your whole argument talking about they were violent people before the environment started. You fucking idiot. You know you didn't play the game.
Yep.
You know you one of the people that they couldn't cut it in the media that you want to be in, so you had to stick to game journalism. You fucking hack. And you know what? I'm gonna say the same thing. As much as I took shit, I'm not gonna sit there on Twitter and try to attack the man. I'm not gonna sit there and attack. Like, I'm gonna attack his work. I'm not gonna attack the journal.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
definitely, and I know both of us, we feel the same. Chat feel the same way.
Mhm.
Do not try to find this man and attack him.
No. Hell
Do
no.
not do that.
Mm-mm.
We're not sicking people on him.
Mm-mm.
He has a mental condition that he needs to get fixed. So
It's
he's
true.
caught with the woke virus.
Yep.
Let him get fixed. Because you gotta be stupid to believe that. This game sold copies. You gave the game a 9 out of 10. You gave Resident Evil 6 a 7.9 out of 10.
Yep. And then for you to deem it racist,
Yeah, deem it racist. But you gave it a 9. So you had no problem with it.
you really had no problem.
Stop sniffing the woke drugs, because I'm glad Capcom has not affected by Sweet Baby.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm going to talk about it now because it's transitioning into what we're going to talk about in a minute. But yeah, like, thank God it's not affected with the Sweet Baby virus. Shout out to the courier, the Steam courier that tracks these games, because I'm now skeptical about games. Because there's a game called Rebel Transmute,
Mhm.
and it's a Castlevania game, but the lead character is black, and it looks good. It looks real good. It looks like Metro. It looks like Metroid. It kind of copies from Metroid because she has a battle suit, but it looks good. But then the first thing that came to my head, because of all the bullshit that we're going through right now, wasn't made by Sweet Baby. It wasn't made by these woke companies. Why would I pay my money for this? And I may have a feeling, because she had her hair, the half hair shave.
Yeah.
She had that. So I'm like, already. So I was gonna buy it. I was gonna buy it, and I'm just like, I'll think about it. I'll wait.
And then you found
I
out.
want to see more about this before I do it.
You found out by Sweet Baby had a hand in that one.
Yeah, Sweet Baby or any other companies, Black Lady. I forgot the other company, Black Women Gamers, Black Women Gamers, who, by the way, are dick riding on the Gamergate thing,
Oof.
or Gamergate situation, and try to say like, oh, we're gonna stand tall. When you made a fucking game called for Spoken, which nobody bought,